classroom and in the playground feel safe?
We have to make sure that we all are safe together, and we have to be careful with people, otherwise we might hurt them.
And if you saw somebody and you didn't think that they were being safe, what might you do? What would you do?
I might say stop, because that's very dangerous.
Okay. And what about learning in your classroom? How do you help people and yourself to learn?
We have to listen to a teacher and be quiet. When someone next to you is talking, we might have to say, if people are talking while other people, other teachers talking, they're losing their spirit. And if you're listening to the teacher and you're being good for learning and listening to this.
And what happens when the learning machine looks like that?
People learn on it.
People learn a lot.
Fantastic. What have you noticed, Sam, about the behaviour in the classroom this year?
Better than last year. Better.
Yeah.
It's less talking, more working. Not many people get on the board now. Seems that with their behaviour, it's much better than last year.
That's good. So what do you expect of other people in the school, the students and the teachers and the other adults? So do you expect them to be helpful to you?
Yeah, a lot of students help. They help you if you get stuck in work.
So you feel as though you can approach other people?
Yeah. And if you're not safe, like outside, someone's troubling you, you know who to go to, not have fights and make more trouble.
Yeah, that's good to say. Thank you so much.
Responsibilities are to be safe and learn. Why we need to learn is so we can have a good education. To be safe, we have to take care of other people and be safe in that as well as taking care. Things that we do in class that are naughty are really bad. Listen to the teacher and don't talk while the teachers are talking. And when you're in the classroom, don't run and do your work properly.
Okay, now Martina, what do you do when you see someone else not working?
And go up to them and say, if you need any help, just call me, or you can call the teacher and then Miss Luca or me can help you.
So there were some of our kids with what they think, and that wasn't scripted either. She was able to rattle that off. So again, we go back to what got us to this point, and we talk about that relentless reinforcement consistently applied, and that's what we did. We really set out to do that, and that's what we did. We had a committed approach by all of our staff members. We have a mix of staff in the sense that we have a wonderful graduate and we have really experienced people and leading teachers and a few ES staff as well. So everybody was included in the conversations about how we were going to move with the behaviour management side of our schooling. We had one voice, really. One voice saying the same thing. And sometimes, you know, we went off on a different, but, you know, we soon came back and that one voice was really clear. We had that shared language and the shared belief that we could make a difference. We could make a difference. We had that belief, and that's what took us to where we are now. We had structured professional learning for our staff in the sense that we delivered what the learning leaders came back with from our sessions with Raymond. We had Raymond come out and speak with us. We brought the staff Raymond's book, and we were able to read that at our own time, flick through it, talk about it. We had cues up, all that sort of stuff. I think the last one down there that I've underlined as well has been something that's been really evident in terms of us as a staff, that we've had those high expectations clearly and explicitly communicated to all members of our school community. There was no mucking around, no ambiguity. And if anybody knows me, you'll know that I'm a master of, no mucking around. So, we just needed not to get the message across that this is what we needed to do in however way we did it, but that's what we needed to get done so that there were no mixed messages. And these were just an example of some of the things that were up in classrooms to help kids. So now I'll pass you on to Jan and Vivian from the Lilliput campus, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about where to from now.
Okay, when we first became involved in AIZ, we were 3 separate schools on 3 different sites, and Camilla said that I would go into that. In 2008, we held a combined 2-day conference at Aitken Hill, and we concentrated there on the work that was delivered in numeracy, literacy and developmental management. And what you can see up there is just a snapshot of the cover of the brochure that we used that day. Now at that conference, all staff, including education support officers, they were all there, and as part of the developmental management component, everyone received a set of the Thinker's Keys. Each key indicates what the teacher says and does. We not only made them for developmental management, we made them for literacy and numeracy as well, and we've since decided we will not be making any more keys ever, because it took forever to cut them out and laminate them. Okay, the poster that you can see here is displayed in all teaching areas, and a session at the conference was devoted to role play in responding to difficult students. We're still doing role play, we still watch each other, we call each other and say, watch me talk to this child, because we find that the paraphrasing is the hardest. We have to stop ourselves from asking questions, and we all find that still very difficult. The teaching staff were involved in more professional development that focused on developmental management, and that was during a curriculum day at the beginning of 2009 when Jacana Primary School moved to the Lilliput Street site. And I'm going to hand over to Viv now.
On the next few slides, we've just got some samples of some of the posters that are displayed in the classrooms. These were all developed with the children, and it's their ideas and that's their children's content that is displayed, all reflecting the different rights and responsibilities of children that come to school. The first few are a sample of the grade 5-6 area. They also have their behaviour management plan with the first warning, second warning, and relocation if necessary. This is from the 3-4 unit, again reflecting that students have the right to learn, and again all students have the right to be safe in their learning environment. And in the 1-2 area, it was the children again nominated the actual actions that needed to take place, and it was reflected in all their illustrations, which were then added to the posters.
Okay, there is a slight difference across the campuses in as far as what we needed to take on in terms of developmental management, because the children on the campuses are completely different. Camilla's hair went curly last year, mine went curly about 4 years before that. So we've moved on a little bit, ideas saved us, but then along came Ray and we just implemented more so that we could keep improving.